All right, let's pull back the curtain on something that runs our lives pretty much 24/7, but most of us never even notice. We're talking about cognitive biases, the invisible automatic shortcuts your brain takes to get through the day. And trust me, they explain so much about why we do the things we do. You've seen it happen, right? Incredibly brilliant people making just baffling choices. So why does that happen? Well, it's not really about intelligence. It's about the wiring in our heads. See, the human brain is built to be fast and efficient, not necessarily to be logical or right all the time. So when we get technical, the official definition calls them systematic deviations from rationality. Now, the key word there is systematic. These aren't just random mistakes. They are predictable, repeatable patterns. And they happen because our brains are always looking for those psychologically efficient shortcuts to save energy. It's a feature, not a bug. So here's the game plan. First, we're going to look at how we see ourselves. Then we'll dive into how we judge the value of things. After that, we'll tackle the crazy ways our minds filter reality. And we'll wrap it all up with a few tricks for outsmarting your own mind. Sound good? Let's go. Okay, first up, let's talk about the person in the mirror. Because some of the most powerful biases are the ones that warp how we see our own skills, our wins, and our losses. Let's kick things off with a classic, the Dunning-Kruger effect. The fancy term here is metacognitive deficit. All that really means is you don't know what you don't know. People who have very little skill in something are often the most confident because they literally lack the expertise to see just how little they know. To put it another way, it's that feeling you get after watching one YouTube tutorial and suddenly thinking you're ready to be a pro. It's that peak of confidence right at the beginning of the learning curve. We've all been there, and we've definitely all seen it in others. Oh, and then there's this one, the self-serving bias. That attribution asymmetry part means we play by two different sets of rules. When we succeed, that's because we're brilliant, we worked hard, it's all us. But when we fail, the deck was stacked against us, it was just bad luck, somebody else messed up. And this all bleeds into how we see the future, which is almost always a bit skewed. On one side, you have the optimism bias. That's the it'll never happen to me feeling. On the flip side, you have the pessimism bias, where you're constantly bracing for the absolute worst-case scenario. Neither one is a very accurate picture of reality, is it? Okay, let's shift gears. Now we're going to get into how our brains decide what something is worth. And you're about to see that our internal calculator is, well, it's pretty weird. This right here is so important. It's called loss aversion. Think about it. Finding $50 on the street feels pretty good, but losing $50 that was already in your wallet, that feels absolutely awful. The pain of a loss is psychologically way more powerful than the pleasure of an equal gain. This one idea is behind so much in marketing and economics. And that leads us right into this, the endowment effect. It's wild. The very second you take ownership of something, its value just magically inflates in your mind. You might have bought a coffee mug for $5, but because it's your mug now, with your memories, you wouldn't sell it for less than 10. Just owning it adds value. And if you want to see this effect on steroids, look no further than the IKEA effect. You know what I'm talking about? That bookshelf you spent 4 hours struggling to build with a tiny Allen key. It's not just a bookshelf to you. It's a monument to your effort. You value it way more than some identical pre-built one because you've put your own sweat into it. All right, think about the absolute flood of information hitting your brain every single second. It's impossible to process it all. So your brain uses these super powerful filters to cope. But here's the thing. These filters don't just organize information, they actively shape your reality. And this is the big one, confirmation bias. It's like our brain is a lawyer that's already decided its case. We go out into the world actively hunting for any scrap of evidence that proves we're right, while at the same time we're experts at ignoring, downplaying, or explaining away anything that suggests we might be wrong. It's what makes internet echo chambers so powerful. Then you've got this sneaky one, survivorship bias. We love to focus on the success stories, right? We study the habits of billionaires, thinking if we just do what they did, we'll get the same results. But we completely ignore the thousands, maybe millions, of people who had the exact same habits and failed. We're looking at a totally incomplete picture. Have you ever seen a price tag that says was $1,000, now only $250? That first number, the $1,000, is the anchor. Your brain latches onto it, so the $250 price tag seems like an incredible deal, even if the item was never really worth more than that to begin with. the first piece of information we get has this huge magnetic pull on everything that comes after. So, we've talked about all these bugs in our mental software. It can feel a little hopeless, but it's not. The real question is, what can we actually do about it? How can we build a better system for making choices? I really love this idea. Just being aware of your biases, that's step one, but it's not enough. Real mastery comes when you start to actively build systems, when you engineer countermeasures to stop those biases from hijacking your decisions. And here are some of those countermeasures in practice. Using simple things like checklists, decision protocols, forces you to slow down. Using adversarial reasoning, which is basically having a team whose only job is to poke holes in your plan, is a fantastic way to fight confirmation bias. And sometimes, using data and algorithms can give us an objective reality check against our flawed gut feelings. Look, if there's just one thing you remember from all this, let it be this. These biases don't mean your brain is broken. They mean it's working exactly as it was designed to be fast, to be efficient. The goal isn't to get rid of biases, because you can't. The goal is to become aware of them so you know when to hit the pause button and think a little deeper. So, I'll leave you with this question to carry with you. As you go through your day making dozens of little choices, just think, which one of these biases might be pulling the strings right now? Just asking that question is the biggest, most powerful step you can take.